Hey everyone, today I'm going to be showing you how to create this mummy wall hanging. This is the simplest of my pennants so far. Please don't forget to subscribe as I have more on the way yet. And let's get into the video. Okay, so for today's tutorial you're going to want white, red, black and grey yarn. You're going to want scissors, a hook and a needle. Okay, so to begin what you want to do is take your white yarn, create a slip knot and chain 26. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 25, 26. So there's our chain of 26, and what you want to do is yarn over, and we're going to double crochet into the back bump of the second chain. I'll do that again, yarn over, going through the back bump, yarning over, pulling through the first 2 loops and pulling through the second 2 loops. And I'm going to do that all the way along until I get to the end of my chain. Okay, so I've reached the end of my chain now. You should have 25 double crochets in total. What you want to do now is chain 1, turn your work, and we're going back into every stitch along for a double crochet. So yarn over, going into the stitch, yarning over, pulling through the first 2 loops, pulling through the second 2 loops, and again. Yarning over, going into the stitch, yarning over, pulling through the first 2 loops, pulling through the second 2 loops. And we're going to do that in every stitch along until we reach the end, where we will then chain 1 and turn our work. And you want to do this until you have 4 rows of double crochet in total. So that includes the row we've just done. Okay, so I've now finished my 4 rows of double crochet. What you want to do is chain 1 and turn your work. And now what you're going to do is fold up the back, and you're going to line up the first stitch on your row with the first stitch of the row along the bottom. And you're going to yarn over, go into that first stitch, and you're also going to go into the first stitch of that bottom row. And you're going to yarn over, you're going to pull through all of those. You're going to yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. So you've gone through both of those stitches. And you're going to repeat this along. And what this is doing is creating the channel for the rod without having to later go back and stitch. Okay, so once you reach the end of that row, you're just going to chain 1, turn your work. And you can see we've created now a channel that the rod can go through. Moving on from here, what you want to do is do another row of double crochet in every stitch along until you reach the end. So you do that and I'll meet you back for the next step. Okay, so I've now reached the end of that row. What I'm going to do is chain 1, turn my work, and I'm going to go into the first 2 stitches for a double crochet. And I'm going to go into the next stitch but I'm only going to pull through the first 2 loops I'm then going to take my black, going to pull my black yarn through those last 2 loops, and I'm going to leave that tail on this side, because this side is our front side. I'm going to pull the white tail over too. So once I've attached the black, I'm going to go into the next 6 stitches for a double crochet using my black. I'm going to go into the 7th stitch, but I'm only going to pull through those first 2 loops. I'm going to drop my black, I'm going to pick up my white, and don't pull too tightly or you might curl your work. I'm going to pull through those last 2 loops. I'm going to go into the next 4 stitches with the white. Into that 5th stitch, I'm going to go in, but only pull through the first 2 loops. I'm going to drop my white, pick up my black, pull through those last 2 loops, go into the next 6 stitches with the black, into that 7th stitch. I'm going to go in, but only pull through the first 2 loops. I'm going to drop my black, pick up my white, I'm going to pull through those last 2 loops, and I'm going to go into the last 3 stitches with the white. And then I'm going to chain 1, I'm going to turn, and into those first 3 stitches I'm going to go in using the white and doing a double crochet. Into that 4th stitch I'm going to go in, but I'm only going to pull through those first 2 loops, and I'm going to drop the yarn to the back. I'm going to pick up my black, I'm going to pull through those last 2 loops, into the next 4 stitches I'm going to go in and do a double crochet with the black, into that 5th stitch I'm going to go in, but I'm only going to pull through the first 2 loops. I'm going to drop my yarn to the back, I'm going to pick up my white, I'm going to pull through those last 2 loops, into the next 6 stitches I'm going to go in and do a double crochet with the white, Into that next stitch I'm going to go in, but I'm only going to pull through the first 2 loops. I'm going to drop my yarn to the back, pick up my black yarn, not pulling too tightly. I'm going to pull through those last 2 loops. Into the next 4 stitches I'm going to go in with the black. Into that 5th stitch I'm going to go in, but only pull through the first 2 loops. I'm going to drop that yarn to the back, pick up my white again, not pulling too tightly. I'm going to pull through those last 2 loops. I'm going to go into the next 4 stitches with my white, doing a double crochet. And what I'm going to do now is turn my work over, take my black yarn, cut myself a length, cutting yourself free of the black yarn, and I'm going to chain 1, turn my work, and do another row completely in the white. And I'm going to continue doing that until I have 6 rows in total of white double crochet underneath those eyes. So this is the first row, and then you want 5 more rows, and I will meet you back once you've got those 6 rows of double crochet in the white done.